Okay, well, today is technically it's my last day of work, but I am taking leave, so I'm not working today. So I'm considering this my first day of non-employment, and it feels really interesting. It feels scary, and like maybe it's not a great idea. At the same time, it feels liberating and allows me to focus on the things that I want to focus on. The first of which being my own mental and physical health. So I had told myself that I am going to make sure to go on regular walks in the morning with the dog again. I used to do that before I changed my job the last time because I had a little bit more flexibility in the morning. But I stopped and I just found it really hard to stay motivated and to get up in the morning and go do that. And it just became this like unattainable part of the morning that I can't really do. I don't want things like that to be an excuse anymore. I don't want my daily grind to get in the way of what's the most important to me in life. And I think there's been a lot that's happened in the last several years to help me prioritize and realize what I know is important to me, what I value, and what I want to prioritize. And I just don't want that to be my work anymore. At the end of everything, if I do end up going back to a quote unquote real job again, if I end up just kind of going back to something because I do, need financial stability. This is really kind of a trial right now. But if I do, it's going to be really important to me to go back and not allow that to become my identity and become the most important thing for me. And linking, achievement and my self-esteem, it doesn't work for me mentally. So here I am. There's a baby bunny. No, Parker. Oh my goodness, he pulled real hard. What a cutie. It is baby bunny season. Okay, round two. So I didn't sleep super well last night. Managed to still get up roughly around my alarm. And I said, first of all, I'm getting up a whole hour later than I used to. So 6 a.m. But I was like, go ahead, get out of bed. I know it doesn't feel like you want to. Go take your shower. I read my book, which is Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. And I am very much enjoying it, although that's a weird way to put it. It's a good book. It's very interesting and informative. But yeah, enjoying it might be a weird way to say that. And then about the same time that my husband left for work, I got ready with the dog. And we came out on this beautiful walk that I haven't done in a very long time. So I'm feeling pretty good and motivated today. And we'll see where the day takes us. I'm editing and I'm going to film in vertical only because I filmed that video in vertical. Is it obvious that I'm out of practice? The first video that I tried to film kind of back on my channel, and I have no idea how to do it. So this was my first day, as I said, of unemployment, I guess. I don't actually have much footage after that. So I wanted to just pop on and give just a little bit of context and explain where some missing time went before I jump to
my next stuff and kind of give you a timeline of my first time off. I had a memorial service for a friend of mine. His husband passed away, and I was sort of unexpectedly flying up to Alaska to go attend the celebration of life. And so that entire week was me being very, very focused on producing a bunch of cookies for the party that they were having. My friend had asked me to make cookies, and so I spent 3 solid days baking and decorating and putting together the cookies, and then painstakingly wrapping them in bubble wrap so that they would hopefully survive the trip in my carry-on up to Alaska. And they did. So I'll go ahead and insert a picture of the final cookies. I did not film this process because I really didn't have the time to dedicate to, setting up a camera or talking to it or doing anything. I was this whole week just focusing on getting that done. And it was very productive. I was very happy with it. And then that weekend I flew up. I helped him put together all the food for the party, and just helped him execute this event. So it's a lot of work, but it was great. It was a very fulfilling first week for me. I really felt like I could give it my all because I wasn't working, and I think that was really good for my soul. So that's really what that first week of unemployment encompassed, and I don't have any footage from that or anything. And the second week was a little bit weird as well because we were getting our windows redone. We were getting all the windows in the house replaced, and I opted to remove myself entirely out of the house to give them the space to do that. We have an old house with some lead paint on some of the windowsills, and so I figured it was safest for leaving the house and letting them do their abatement work and do everything without me involved. So I spent the next few days beautiful outside, doing some yard work, hanging out with my dog, and hanging out in a hammock that I haven't been able to use in a long time. These are the first few videos that I filmed before I really started getting into things following that. Hopefully it's some good context because it feels pretty disheveled, but I at least wanted to upload the thoughts that I had a couple of weeks ago as an introductory to moving into this new phase of my life.
So this is like my first real week off of work. Although last week was the first week that I did not work, I was so busy preparing for a trip to Alaska for a memorial service for a friend that that took up all of my time. So it was not a normal week. But this week is, to an extent. I mean, we're getting our windows done. So one reason that I am outside in the hammock is because I can't go inside where they are replacing the windows. So thankfully it's a beautiful day. So, there's limitations to what I can do. But what it has done is, one, let me focus a little on some yard work. So I've been doing a little bit of yard work. But two, let me enjoy a second. I started realizing that I haven't had a moment like truly to myself and truly not feeling like I have to do something in forever. Part of that's on me. Part of that's my personality, and part of that is the way that I behave, that I'm trying to find a better balance. I feel like I have to shove important things into every moment of my life, or I'm not being productive, or I'm not being, I'm not using my time well. But a lot of that is because I've had such limited time, and I've been working so much at my job, and I've been putting so much into my job for the last 10 years that now all of a sudden I have the ability to say, what if I just don't today? So here I am. So before it got too warm, I did some yard work. I've been trying to prune these plum trees. It's a little late to do that. I'm mostly cutting off dead branches or new growth. So hopefully I'm not messing with the trees too much. But it has been something I've been putting off. So I went ahead and did that and some weed eating yesterday. But for the most part, I am just trying to enjoy time to myself. I'm going to pick up my book here in a few minutes and read. Forced relaxation. In order, I mean, even if I had taken like time off to do this, I would have had to feel like I was filling that time with something, really, really helpful. Or I would just start feeling guilty. So I'm hoping that I'm trying not to use the word transformative. I'm hoping that this is a transformative experience and very helpful for me to realize that I don't always have to be on, or as somebody told me this weekend, I can take off my work hat. You know, I'm always doing, and if I'm not doing, I don't feel like I'm good enough. And it's not just in my personal time. I did that at work. If I had any downtime at work, I filled it with things that I felt were really, really productive and meaningful and helpful. And frankly, I don't know if it was worth it. I don't know. I'm going to have to sit on that for a while. Um, so it will be a nice change of pace for me to consider, you know, productivity in a different way where I am focusing on myself. The main two things that I want to do with this sabbatical is to focus on my mental and physical health. Um, that is important to me to put myself first. Um, and so that's what I'm doing right now. That's mental health. I am not putting pressure on myself. And that will come in time. It will come in time. I will have things to do and time frames to do them. I have plans. I have, big goals. But right now, I'm trying to remind myself that I don't need to launch into that right now. And right now, I need a rest. And and then I can go from there. So I'm resting.